Hey basketball players, today I am going to be breaking down Trae Young and how he is able to score the basketball, but also dish the basketball out to his teammates as well. Let's get down and let's check out Trae Young. Okay, so this first clip is a teaser, I guess, for tomorrow. We're going to be breaking down screens tomorrow. But right now, really quickly, Trae Young is a master at shooting the three from ridiculously deep at logo range. And one of the ways he's able to do this is if he gets a screen way far deep away from the rim and his defender gets stuck on that player, he is going to be chucking up that shot extremely deep, and he hits a lot of these shots. Now, something that you could do as a player is, especially when this player starts to jump for a shot, is to then do a quick bounce pass to this player who's rolling towards the rim. When he cuts towards the rim, that's going to draw this player, and he can kick the ball out for a three-point shot. But again, that's not something that just happened here, but it is something that Trae Young has done before, and you can do as well. Okay, so what we have here is Trae Young being guarded by a bigger, slower player, and if you are in this situation yourself, what you can do is basically change directions a couple of times. I would usually say 1, 2, or even 3 times. So first he crosses through his legs and attacks and gets this player sideways to run to try and keep up. He then crosses back and comes back. Meanwhile, this defender, Aldridge, is standing straight up. As a defender, whether you are a center or not, you need to get low, especially if you've got a player as quick as Trae Young. He then crosses one more time and he has lost that player. And because he has now dribbled 3-4 times and changed directions twice, he now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heads looking straight at him, not looking at the players who they are defending. And because of that, we have a weak side player who is very smart because he had nobody guarding him. He cut where there's no defenders at. Trae Young seen that. He's able to pass that ball out and then go in for a dunk. Now we have Trae Young coming down, and this is a move that he does a lot. And from there, what he does is, if you are a defender defending him this close to the half-court line, and you are in your defensive stance to try and keep up with him because of, like I mentioned earlier, he is a very fast player. He dribbles through your legs and then catches up to the ball and then goes in for a layup or a shot. Now, this is something he does here in this clip as well. He's able to catch up to that ball. Now, when he goes up for a shot, we see that he sticks his right leg out really far. Why is that? Because he had a lot of speed and momentum going in that direction. By sticking your leg out to try and stop your momentum in this direction, it's able to transfer that momentum up. Now, what he does is he kicks that right leg out, and the reason for that is it's able to stabilize his shot because his body is turning. And because your body is turning, what you can do is stick that leg out to stop your turn, or at least slow down your body's turn in the air, and it's able to stabilize your shot so that you can make your shot. Now, this next move is a very popular move of Trae Young's, and it's something that a lot of players need to learn how to do. Even though this is a very flashy move, what we have here is a screen, and that screening player pops out to the three-point line. Trae Young now has 2 players on him, and what he could do easily is do a behind-the-back pass to this player. That player would then have a mid-range or 3-point shot. But he wants to get to that rim. He wants to pad his stats, and I don't blame him. He is a very good player. So what he does is he wraps that ball really far back behind his back, and then he's able to dribble through his legs. How he's able to do this is he jumps into the air to be able to do that dribble. He then steps ahead with his left foot first, and that way he has that whole lane. He takes one more step and nobody's going to be blocking that layup. It makes those players think that he is doing a behind-the-back pass to this player, which then allows him to have that open lane. This is a closer angle, and from there what he does is, if we watch his face even, he's able to sell it by looking in that direction and then he looks back, and then he attacks that rim. Another move that he does a lot is the killer crossover. Now, how he sets up that killer crossover is different than many other players. Now, with how he sets this up is a lot of players, they'll do a jab step in the direction that they're doing the killer crossover, but instead he hops into it, and that hop really sells a lot of players. Like, that is a far hop. He is jumping 1, 2, 3, 4 feet, maybe 5 feet, and then he's able to make that shot. Here we have the same killer crossover, and unlike every other player like I was mentioning, they usually just do a quick jab step. He hops into it, and then he does a quick hesitation, and then it makes that defender freeze to make me think that he's going to be going up for a shot, but instead Trae Young attacks that rim and gets that foul. Now in this next clip, this is why I like to teach my players one-handed passes. So he's dribbling the ball with his left hand. Watch, when he makes this pass, his hand is still on top of that ball until the last second, and then he makes that pass for the dunk. But if he was to pick up that ball and then pass the ball, for one, it's a slower pass. That man or Lopez would have come down to stop that pass from happening. With it being a one-handed pass, it's quicker for one, but also for two, until that last second, you can still put that ball back down. Right up until about there, he can't put that ball back down, but before that point, he could still dribble the ball again and not be called for a carry. This is something that a lot of players need to learn how to do, and of course, this is why. Now, alley-oop passes is something that he is also very good at. He has a few players on his team who can dunk. Too bad he couldn't send up a few for Vince Carter, but Vince Carter is getting kind of old. I hope that Vince Carter has a very happy retirement. However, Trae Young uses that screen. That player number 30 rolls off of that screen. Now watch how and where that ball goes for that alley-oop. A lot of players will send up alley-oops before they learn how to pass an alley-oop. And when a lot of players send up alley-oops, they usually send them up very, very high, and players cannot get to them unless your name is Vince Carter back in 1999. But when you're trying to send up an alley-oop, you want to send it up roughly 1 foot away at rim level from the rim. 1 foot away from the rim at rim level. If you're sending up a alley-oop from the corner or to a player who's cutting baseline, you want to try and hit the bottom section of that backboard. That way, that player who's cutting baseline is able to catch that ball and dunk that ball. When you're throwing it up in front of the rim, you want to lay it up roughly a foot away from the rim at rim level. That's going to give you the best chance of having an alley-oop for your teammate. And then, like always, when you're driving towards the rim and you start drawing in multiple defenders, you need to not necessarily look to score. You need to look for open players, and that's what we have here. He does a quick hammer pass out and a nice three-point shot. I hope that this video has helped you become a better basketball player. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.